Do you feel like you equipped to handle that?
Do I think I could do it? Sure.
But do it.
Am I dying to do it? Not really. I mean, like when I see Vlad doing, Robert F. Kennedy and Vivek Ramaswamy and all that kind of shit, and it's like
flagrant too. They're getting a decent consistency of
I feel like their audience is probably more into it, whereas I feel like me and Vlad's audience is not really trying to see politics.
Very true.
For me, the kind of politicians that you're going to be able to get at our level is the Robert F. Kennedys and the Viveks, and not like the Joe Biden. But I don't know, like even when I saw Act doing Donald Trump Jr.,
that didn't really do nothing.
Nobody cared. Right. But then when I saw Act going to do like he was acting like he was going to do Donald Trump, and that made me think like, what would I say if I could get Donald Trump on camera? And I'm like, I don't know, and I don't even care. Like
I think what you're interviewing though, I think I've said this before, but like you're interviewing like. Yours is like, it's really just a convo. Like, you would humanize most people. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't humanize Trump.
You can't.
He's a robot.
But like, in terms of your conversation, like, you're going to get your points. You're going to make sure you get your clips and shit. But overall, you're still just having a pretty regular conversation.
I just think when I saw the Nelk Boys interview Trump, and it's like they're asking him like basically like normie questions, and then he's talking about the debt, and he's talking about China. It's like these motherfuckers don't know anything about the national debt or China. I'm not equipped to respond to Trump in general too if he starts talking about how China's going to take over.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck to say. This is your thing. This is what you do all day.
But that's the thing with the Nelk Boys podcast is like you're not going there for a good interview. It's like they're clouded up. They're not good at interviewing people. It's just you're just there for the vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Like, by a happy dad can.
Yeah, and that's I would say they've just rebuilt the vibe too, because like when Bradley wasn't there, it's like it's got to be Bradley, Steiny, and Kyle. It has to be those three because it's like for me at least. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Bradley brings the most realistic perspective. Steiny is he's my favorite because he's just like
you like to pick on him.
He's fucking hilarious. You know what I'm saying? And then Kyle is just. They're facilitating shit just to giggle in the background. You know what I'm saying?
When I interviewed, or when Bradley interviewed me, I asked him about that, and he was basically like, yeah, like they just stopped calling me.
Yeah, but then he came back, but then I feel like they haven't really dropped as crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've kind of slowed down their pace of dropping this year.
The Nelk Boys.
The Nelk Boys have, I feel like. But they've also expanded the brand.
But they don't do the YouTube shit anymore, like the YouTube videos, which to me is kind of a disappointment.
So maybe they haven't.
They kind of like replaced the YouTube videos with dropping the podcast, and then now it feels like they're not dropping that much of either.
I didn't realize that, but they've also expanded out too because Yachty's podcast is under the Full Send brand. So.
And they're obviously killing it regardless, but it's like I hate to see that happen to content creators because it's like happened to Logan Paul at a certain point where like he was vlogging all the fucking time, Phage Banks vlogging all the time. At a certain point, money, like you're already mega famous, you already have a fan base, you already have a product you're pushing, whatever, and at a certain point, you don't give a fuck about the money from making YouTube videos or whatever, so dudes just stop doing it. To me, that's kind of disappointing because I always looked at Nelk as the dope thing about them was that they put out these really like polished 20-30 minute videos that had all kinds of different scenes, and all of a sudden there's a prank, and then and like I found that enjoyable. I like watching like highly produced YouTube content by guys like that. But then when they start doing podcasts, it's like I'll watch it if it's like a guest that I like can't believe that you got.
Exactly.
But I'm not like gonna tune in like that.
Just for that.
But
you're not my ideal person to watch interview people. No offense to them.
But you know what else they've also cultivated though? They might not be your ideal, but I'm gonna get every MMA. I'm gonna get every MMA celebrity.
Hulk Hogan.
Like they're gonna get like the people that don't go to nobody else's shit. But they'll go there. So it's like
that's the trade-off.
They force us to become consumers almost. But you know what I'm saying? Which is it. They're in a very nice position of like, we don't have to do this every week, but when we pop up, Trump just might be here and
they're not sneakos. It's not like
they're not.
You're not taking a risk by going and sitting down with them, right?
They're also Canadians that attach themselves to the Conservative Party, which is also very interesting as well too.
I'm surprised they haven't been canceled more.
Because they have no political. Well, Kyle doesn't. He's a Canadian, but he has no stake in this. This motherfucker can't vote. You know what I'm saying?
It's not even a problem. They're the best marketing.
The fans are frat boys. Like, who's gonna try to cancel that audience?
But if they were standing Joe Biden, I mean, like, their fan base doesn't want to see that like,
at all.
If anything, them backing Trump early on was kind of like a bold thing for them to do, but now it's like the most common sense thing. Like I am going to vote for Joe Biden. I'm not talking about it. I know nobody wants to hear this,
but it's also based on like Donald Trump's aura. Like it's just like
I don't even think it was just the Trump. It was also the Dana White thing. those are two.
Yeah.
Even Dana White backing Trump early on was like hella controversial. Same thing with Kanye. Now nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Amber Rose posting about voting for Trump the other day. Nobody gives a shit.
I seen that. Yeah, I seen that. But